Hey guys, again here's João Delgado from ASM. I'm today with Coach Will at UNC Chapel Hill. As we told you, we're going to ask some questions for you, especially to understand how one of the biggest and better universities around the country will work with the soccer department. Coach, thank you very much to accept us here. So the main question first is how you promote this idea of greatness in this college. How do you help the kids to develop, to don't feel the pressure, and to become better not just as a student but as a sportsman too?
Yeah, I think it's the same. It's the same answer for both. We're committing to our core values daily, and we're committing to making each other better daily. We have an extremely competitive environment, a lot of good players from everywhere, and coming together every single training session is difficult, and it pushes you outside of your comfort zone. We make sure to demand that from our players. And when we do that and we're focusing on that daily, the other stuff falls into place. And it's, I don't think we think about, the weight of UNC much. We think about every day, let's get better. And the other stuff, the championships, the wins will come if we get better as individuals and as a team. And I think that's really the best way to not only have success as a group, but then also to develop individuals.
That's a good thing that you mentioned, the daily work. How you guys as a coach and also as a staff can control the daily work and the daily as a student athlete to improve not just in soccer but improve in school, because they're coming from different cultures. You probably have a lot of internationals. How can you help to bring everyone together to improve and to have that mentality? How's the daily basis normally?
Yeah, I think that's the strength of, especially with our group. I think we either coming directly from another country or being first generation, son of an immigrant into the U.S. We represent almost 20. It's over 20 countries. I think we speak 12 languages. So especially at a place like UNC, I think we're one of the more diverse teams in college soccer, and we rely on that. We rely on each other's different ideas, respecting each other, learning from each other, and that really, for sure, I think it helps everyone feel comfortable, and I think we all come together around our common goal of being the best we can in soccer, and that's the great thing about our sport, is that it is so global, and everyone looks at things differently, but also you share a common language, and I think it comes together easily when you go out and you compete with each other. The soccer takes care of itself, and we all bond through that.
That's great. You just talk about competition. You compete, right? And this ACC is probably, if not like the most competitive league around the US for college. You have Wake Forest, you have Clemson, UNC. How do you see like the players playing against all those teams in this beautiful setup? Is like there is already motivation in themselves, or you guys need to still push them as hard as possible?
I think that's our job to push them. That's our job to take them out of their comfort zone.
Exactly.
This isn't a place to come, just kind of hang out and play some soccer. This is a place where you will be challenged. Guys coming from all different backgrounds and ability levels. It doesn't matter. You will be challenged, and we make sure of that, because that's the best thing for everyone. That's the best thing for our individual players, and like I said, for our team. But I think for sure it's our job to make sure that it's not a comfortable environment, and to put pressure on training, to make training harder than the games.
Because guys, we talk with the UNC coach, but also with a former national champion. Funny or not, for Wake Forest, one of the biggest rivals of UNC. Yeah. If you could talk a bit more about your experience, more personal, on being a coach of UNC and also a former player. How do you do this transition between being a soccer player from Wake Forest to a coach at UNC?
I think it took a while. It's definitely a different experience. It's a different way of communicating. And as I've grown up as a person, you know, I've definitely changed the way I communicate with the players. You know, but I think it's been a lot of fun. And I think that's the reason I'm still in the game, is because it is similar. You get to some big wins, and you get to be in a team environment and be around young people, and enjoy the experience, enjoy soccer, and enjoy this game that we all just love so much.
No, definitely, it makes sense. For example, when you were at Wake Forest, if you could take an advice now as a coach, you could give an advice at your own self. If you were as a player, what would you say?
I'd say a lot. I think,
pick one or two, maybe.
I think that's the tough thing. You know, it goes by so fast. There's so much you can take from your experience in college soccer that's well beyond the soccer experience. That I think that's where I think I could have done a little bit better. I think I could have, you know, taken advantage of just this huge alumni community and networking, and I wish I could have taken advantage of this amazing resources. You know, not only in soccer. I mean, if you look at our resources we have here, they compare with soccer-wise, they compare with top teams around the world. But then if you look at, you know, in the business school, you have leaders in the business world at this institution. Medical school, every subject you can think of, there's just incredible people who are at the forefront of their you know, subject, or at the forefront of what they do, and just taking advantage of just these incredible people around here. I think I should have really focused on that a little bit more. I had an incredible time, and I had an amazing soccer experience. And you know, it's funny because they're still my best friends. I think that, you know, I went to their weddings. They were in my wedding, and you still, I think that's the thing you maybe cherish the most. And I do think I had an incredible, fulfilling experience that way. But I think it's just incredible and amazing what all these universities have to offer, both in soccer but also away from the game.
So yeah, our research revealed also you have like 55 professional players who went to MLS, and also was a 83% percentage of getting a job after you graduate for UNC. You just mentioned a great point, but people sometimes forget. Yeah, you come as an athlete, but you don't take advantage of all the resources you have from these schools. How can you, for example, you already know when a player signs to UNC or comes to your hands, from his mentality, you already know what you can expect, or you guys try to shape them as a UNC student?
I think, as we talked about before, you know, we do an extensive process. In the recruiting process, we try to do as much homework as we can in research to make sure we're bringing the right person into the program as well as soccer player. Okay. And I think that translates so much to, you know, their mentality and how much they care about their teammates, how much, you know, how respectful they are as human beings, really translates to how well they succeed here, and then translates to their opportunities moving forward. You know, and guys who take care of business in the classroom and care about academics tend to perform well, tend to do well in our environment because they're doers. They want to succeed at everything they're doing, and take care of those details. And I think so in the recruiting process, we try to identify that as best we can, and then we're just trying to hold everyone to the highest standard we can. Okay. And all of our student athletes are trying to hold each other to the highest standard that they can as well. And you know, helping your teammate is not just selfless. It's a selfish act to help somebody else, because it helps you in the end. And so I think we try to create that culture, and that commitment to our core values and committing to each other is how guys have opportunities afterwards, and guys that really commit to UNC succeed here. And if you succeed here, you can succeed at a really high level in soccer for sure in the MLS and in other good leagues.
How do you guys like manage? For example, I didn't want to mention about the recruitment, but you guys start really earlier, already prospecting. How do you guys normally do? You go around the world?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. We're not allowed to officially recruit anyone until their junior year in high school, so basically 2 years before they arrive. But at that point, we're always looking for players and always trying to, all the way up, starting then all the way up to the last day. June before someone was to arrive that following August. So, it's varies greatly. When we find the right person and right player, then we'll go for it.
The problem sometimes players from around the world, they forget about the academics. Now specifically about academics, how important is that side to become a UNC student athlete? Yeah,
it's really important. It's really important, and I think that's part of our philosophy too. We're not a school that, it's not easy, and we like that. This isn't an easy school to go to, and we like that it challenges our guys on the field, but also in the classroom. And I think that's, the guys who want to be challenged on the field, the guys who want to be challenged in the classroom, are attracted to a place like this because it's going to challenge you, and that's definitely a core part of our philosophy. And so it's important to know the rules. It's important to know which tests you need to take. It's important to know that you need to do well on them, and you need to study for them and care about them. Different schools are different, but at a place like this, you can't take the academics for granted, and you have to, if you try in school and you care about it, you're going to be successful here. And that's the other side of it. We offer a lot of support.
Okay. Just to finish this part regarding the environment around, not just academic or soccer, but bringing everyone together with basketball, American football, soccer, field hockey. How do you see the environment around UNC? You just mentioned that even the fireman car is blue, right?
Yeah.
That's a great example. How do you feel regarding the environment around the city?
Yeah, this is, I think it gets noted as one of the best college towns in the country. It's an incredible place to go to school, just environment-wise and community support-wise. I think we have some of the best fans that you can find. It doesn't matter at UNC if it's fencing or swimming or gymnastics or football or basketball or soccer. If we're playing Duke, we're going to get a lot of fans, and people care. And I think it's an amazing feeling. It also is a motivating thing, as you mentioned before, because people care about the results here. They care if we're winning or we're losing to Duke. They care if we're winning ACC championships or we're not succeeding. And also, every other sport is good. Our women's soccer team has 22 national championships. Our basketball team is a top 10 team. Both men's and women's lacrosse top 10 teams. Baseball wins the College World Series. You name it. Every team. Field hockey has back-to-back national championships. They haven't lost a game in 3 years or something crazy.
That's
so
great.
When you look around, there are Olympians, there are pro football players, pro basketball players, pro in every sport, guys who have really succeeded at a high level on the field and then in the classroom as well. So if we're not up to that standard, it's a motivating thing. It's a motivating thing, and I don't think we see it as a burden. I think we see it as a competitive challenge and something that we really love and thrive on.
So you have a big legacy also, because Michael Jordan played basketball in UNC, so definitely that's big pressure over here. Guys, thank you very much again, Coach Will. They have a game today against Clemson, so if you want to tune in, it's in ESPN Plus, if I'm not wrong.
ESPNU, I think.
Okay.
But probably ESPN Plus.
There you go. Thank you very much, and keep tuned with us, okay?